Hello and welcome to today's race at the Sonoma Raceway in the nr2003, 2007, but it follows the 2026 NASCAR Cup Series schedule, with the exception of Coronado last week, which ended up being towny. Kyle Busch has put it on the pole position, trying to get Hendrick's 6th win in a row this season. But before we do look at the rest of this starting lineup, let's take a look at the points heading into this race, so you can see where your favorite driver stacks up. On the pole is Kyle Busch with Jeff Gordon next to him, and you have Denny Hamlin and Jimmy Johnson in row number 2. Tony Stewart and Greg Biffle in row number 3, with Boris Said and Clint Boyer in row number 4. Carl Edwards and Martin Truex Jr. make up row number 5, with Robbie Gordon and Ron Fellows in row number 6. Ryan Newman and Jeff Burton in row number 7, with Kevin Harvick and Casey Mears in row number 8. Kurt Busch and JJ Yaley in row number 9, with PJ Jones and Juan Pablo Montoya in row number 10, with Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Matt Kenseth in row number 11. David Reagan and Johnny Sauter in row number 12, with Ricky Rudd and Casey Kane in row number 13. Dale Jarrett and Kenny Wallace in row number 14, with Jeff Green and Paul Menard in row number 15. David Stremme and Bobby O'Bonney in row number 16, with Bill Elliott and Reed Sorensen behind them. Dave Blaney and Jamie McMurray, who is battling for a chase spot, lined up behind them, with Joe Nemechek and the Daytona 500 winner David Gilliland in row number 19. Row number 20 consists of Sterling Marlin and Klaus Graf, and Elliott Sadler and Brian Vickers round out the field. Neither one of them got a timed lap in qualifying. Now, let's go down trackside to get the command to fire up engines.
Drivers, start your engines!
So I gotta do this quick since it's only half a pace lap. 3 stages today, 13, 28, 45. Keep your car on the track, keep it out of trouble, and get the strategy right. There's probably going to be about 1 or 2 stops here today in this race. And Martin Truex Jr. has stalled. Martin Truex Jr. stalls and gets towed back to the garage. So here we go to the green flag here in Sonoma. Kyle Busch and Jeff Gordon, here we go. Green flag in the upper racing in Sonoma. Truex Jr. had a suspension issue, which is why he misses the start, as the field goes off in 1. 41 cars that took the green flag. Hamlin making a move on Jeff Gordon for second. He's going to get around the outside, maybe? Yes, he does. He clears Gordon as they head down the hill. And obviously, less strict cautions here. As you see, making way towards turn number 6. Everyone through cleanly so far as Truex getting service to his car. But it's Busch ahead of Hamlin and Gordon. And Greg Biffle's gone off. So too has Ron Fellows. And will that be the caution, or will Biffle be able to keep it going? Let's take a look at what happened here. Biffle got turned by Ron Fellows in the 96. This was for, I believe, a spot 6 in the top 5, near the top 5, 6th place, and he just clips that barrier there. But and they are 3 wide, 3 and 4 wide. David Reagan gets the wall. Dale Jarrett goes off track. He's going to lose a whole handful of positions. A little bit wide there. Martin Truex Jr. has retired from the race. So he will be finishing 42nd today, but he didn't even start. I believe Greg Biffle also going to be out of the race here, yes. So Biffle and Truex out already. As we come to lap number 3. Belcher off of the grass. As they hit turn 11. EJ Jones and Dale Jr. battling side by side here up the hill. Both actually go off into the grass there. Here comes Paul Menard in the 15. Jimmy Johnson and Jeff Gordon battling for the race lead here. Not race lead, sorry. They've been winning the past 2 races, so you think they'd be in the race lead, but they're actually P3 and 4. Tony Stewart right behind them. This is one of the most technical tracks we will go to, and David Gilliland has just had to get a tow back to pit road. So let's take a look at what happened here. Looks like a lazy spin into the barrier. So Gilliland gets a tow back to the pit lane. I believe he actually got towed up. I think it was a buckle yellow actually, but Yaley goes off track. Gordon going by the 25 meters there for the last spot in the top 10. Bobby Gordon might be one of his last chances to win this season here on the road course at Sonoma. Started outside the top 10, made his way up into it already. Juan Montoya also picking up spots early as he looks at Kevin Harvick. JJ Yaley has been towed to the garage. And that'll be the caution. The 18 on top of the tire barrier here. He got turned around by Juan Montoya. A tough blow. He was battling around that chase bubble, trying to make the chase. Kyle Busch will leap him back to the caution. Yaley and Gilliland are both out now. So Yaley and Gilliland are out, and Clint Boyer appears to be staying out. Well, several cars staying out. Busch, Hamlin, and Gordon looked like they were going to pit. They decide to stay out. Boyer stays out. Does anyone in the further back stay out? Reed Sorensen decides to stay out. Ryan Vickers stays out. Here they come to pit road. But they're already in pit road, but here they come to the pit stalls. And obviously these cautions go a little bit quicker than they do everywhere else because only 2 laps per cautions on road courses in this game. as they come off pit road. Johnson is going to lose several positions here. 5 spots lost for Johnson. So Tony Stewart first off pit road here. And Hamlin's got an issue. Hamlin will slow down the hill there. And it looks like he's trying to get out of the way. That is stacking everyone up. So if Hamlin can't catch up, we'll have to extend the yellow, but I think the field will be fine. But now Busch is going wide. The 5 going wide as if he's going to come to pit road here. So the top 2 both have some sort of issue. The 5 is coming down pit road, but the 11 is staying out. Which is certainly strange. Because look at it, the 11 is still moving around like he's trying to see if he has an issue. But now Gordon's going to go by it. But now Hamlin's going to pass him back. So Busch with an issue as we're coming back to the green flag here in Sonoma. Green flag in the air and the field's jumbled up a little bit in the back. Hamlin seeing that he had an issue, but he's able to hang on to the lead. Borisset's going to go around with Brian Vickers. The 83 got loose and he collects a 60 car. The 83 may have wheel hopped there, and the 60 ends up getting collected with him. The 7 and 42 battling Montoya is going to get around the 7. Kyle Busch still sitting in his pit stall. May go a lap down here. He's going to end up coming out ahead of the race leaders by a good bit though. But now it's about recovering from 5. As Hamlin holds the lead. And that strategy by Vickers does not play off as Klaus Graf is heading to pit road. The 96 of Fellows is also down. Kurt Busch battling with Dale Jarrett here, who is running in the top 15. Now the 44 goes wide onto the grass, dirt, whatever you want to call it. Now Harvick's going to pressure the 44 car. Reed Sorensen's dropping spots. He's trying to hang on to the top 10 here, though. Here comes the 25. Looking to get by the 41 of Sorensen, but he shuts the door. As his teammate in the 42 right there also looking to get by. Three wide right here, Burton, Kenseth, and Robbie Gordon. They settle it back down to 2 wide there. The 31 going a little bit wide. It's the 25, looks to get around the 41. 41 actually loses 2 spots there. It's Montoya and Mears. So now Sorensen down to 10 with Kenseth pressuring him. And Kenseth's going to lunge one at the inside. 7 are also going to be by the 41. As Kurt Busch runs a little wide, he's going to have pressure from Kevin Harvick. The 7 is going to take a look at the inside, maybe on the 41. Goes a little wide, that's going to allow Harvick and Kane to make it free wide. The 7 going to get the drive off though. He's going to have a chance. Harvick still hanging to his outside. The 7 goes wide off the track to allow the 9 of Kane through and the 2 of Kurt Busch potentially. The 29 is going to now go by the 41 of Sorensen. Back up at the front. It's Stewart pressuring Gordon. The 20 is the leader of those cars that pitted. Slightly fresher tires on the 20 car. They only ran about 3 laps before the caution there. So it's not a huge tire advantage at all. But he's going to continue trying to get by the 24, trying to be second if they can hit again here at the end of this stage. Looking back at the 5, he is currently running about 0.8 of a second faster than the race leader of Hamlin on those fresh tires. Stewart is running faster lap times in the 24 car. Can't quite get that move set up yet though. 25 car mirrors off into the grass. Sorensen gets into Menard, who almost spins him into the dirt there. That's going to make him give up 2 more spots though, and the 00 may get a run around the outside here. The 41 car actually dropping another spot to the 7 as well. So we are now on the white flag in stage number 1. As they head off up the hill. And the 1 and 2. The 20 still putting pressure on this 24 car. The 48, who lost 5 spots on pit road, has made him up quite easily. He's pressuring the 07 with Clint Boyer here. Can he get back around Clint Boyer here? He's currently second place on that strategy is the 07 of Boyer, but Johnson might get by him. Boyer gets to drive off though as they head for the S's. Johnson looks wide, Boyer comes off. As they head down off the S's, Stewart trying to get the run on Gordon, but he may have run it a little too wide here. As they come through the final corner, and it'll be Hamlin who comes around to win stage number 1 here at Sonoma. Hamlin over Gordon, Stewart, Boyer, Johnson, Newman, Edwards, Montoya, Mears, and Kenseth. And for the 41, it's not much of a benefit staying out there, as he falls outside of the top 20, I believe. That's 22nd for the 41 car. I believe most of these guys will be hitting pit road here. The 5 might be staying out since he pitted pretty recently, but that would still be a big disadvantage for him on the tire. And it looked like the 88 was thinking about staying. The 88. So Rudd, Wallace, Nemechek are going to stay out. Everyone else is going to pit. So this will be an interesting restart. Since they will be on 14 lap older tires than these guys. You saw the 48 have trouble here on pit road last time we came down. When we see a problem like that on the 24 or 11, the 11 gets off the jack first and he's going to win the race off pit road. Boyer second off pit road. Gordon loses 2 spots. Johnson loses spots here on pit road again. Here we come back to the green flag here, with the 88 of Rudd leading us back to it. The 96 car coming off pit road after he just got pit serviced. For the field. Coming back to the green flag here at sonoma. Stage 2 underway. As they come through 1 and 2, the 49 goes wide. Boyer gets sent wide. Chaos here on the restart. Trying to work on the 78 car as the 88 spins off the racetrack from the race lead. So a big mistake there from the race leader. The 78 of Wallace under pressure now. And Newman trying to get by Hamlin. The 78 is going to lose the lead and go off into the grass. And when Newman, Gordon, and Stewart end up getting around him. Gordon gets around Newman, who goes a little wide there in turn 11. As they're trying to get Nemechek out of the way. Here further back. And Nemechek is going to spin Boyer around. It's a similar incident to what we saw with the 83 and the 60 car, but Boyer gets spun out by the 13 of Nemechek. And the 44 car going around. Jared in the 44 is going to get out of the way. But the 48 of Johnson has lost several spots here on the restart, it seems. The 78 not letting Kurt Busch go easily. But Busch is going to drive in. Johnson's going to look 3 wide. So now the 78 car here of Wallace is the last car that stayed out. Still close to the front because Rudd's gone around, Nemechek's gone around, and the 88 has even got a pit row. The 7 trying to make quick work of the 78 here. So head for the S. front pressure from the 7. But now he gets by in the 15, probably get by 2, and the 9 of Kane potentially. And 9 gets on the 78. The 13 and 96 lap traffic ahead of these two race leaders. M1 continues to dominate this race, trying to prevent the engine cars from going 6 in a row. But he's going to have to make quick work of this 13 car. He thought about a move there in the S's, but decides against it. He's probably going to try to get him here before turn 11, because Gordon's going to be on his back number. Closes. M1 getting stalled up. The 13 car goes a little bit wide. That's what the 11 wanted, and the 11's going to get by the 13. But the 24 is going to get held up. He's going to make a quick move. So too is the 20. He's also going to make the quick move past the 13 car. But the 20 goes wide, and the 13 is going to pass him straight back. Montoya up here in the top 5. The 96, the next lap car up, has gotten away a little bit, and the 44 has blown the engine. Or it doesn't look like he's been in a crash, but the engine has expired on the 44 car of Dale Jarrett. The 13's going to go wide, and now the 20's going to get a pass him again, but that creates a huge gap between the 24 and 20. The 12 going to look inside on the 13 here and easily get by before the start finish line. But the 20 lost about 2 seconds, 3 seconds actually, when he got stuck behind the 13 car. The 42 looking on the outside of the 13. He's going to easily get by. The 20 now trying to chase these two back down. Edwards now having to try to work past this 13 car without getting run down by the 2 and 48. Picks up a little bit of dust there. 99 gonna try to make a move here. But if we go back and look at the 78 car, who is just getting absolutely swallowed up. He, I think, hit it just now, actually. Because you just saw him going up the S's as Edwards has gotten by the 13 car. The 11 now with a 7/10 for a second lead over the 24 car. You see the 13 car under pressure from Kurt Busch and Jimmy Johnson. Is going to get shoved a little wide, gets up onto the curbing. And now has to make the 2 car check up. Now the 48 might look to go get around the 2 car here if he doesn't hurry up and get around the 13 car of Joe Nemechek. Kurt Busch now getting around down. A lap down to him as Dave Blaney is on pit road. He just falls a lap down right there. You see the 22 re-entering the racetrack. There's the 5 of Busch, who had that issue. He's back up to 16th. And now hold up behind the 96 of Fellows. Trying to find a way around the 96. He thought about looking lower, but he may try and move here in turn 11. Stewart has caught back up to these two. And here comes Jeff Gordon to the inside. For the race lead, he clears Hamlin here off turn 11. So the 24 car of Jeff Gordon now leads to Sonoma. You see Vickers down pit road. McMurray, I think, has had a crash. So McMurray goes around in a bit of a lazy spin and then he just drives into the wall. I don't think we'll throw it for that one. And when around the outside of the 96, he's actually gotten back around Jeff Gordon. Let's take a look at how that occurred. Gordon was trying to get around the 96, and Hamlin got back to the inside of the 24 car. And as they headed up the hill, he just pressured Gordon into driving himself off into the dirt. So great move by the 11, and while we watch that, the 20 has gotten by the 11. So the 20 actually appears to have gotten a 2-for-1. Great move by the 20 car there to get by with Hamlin. And these three nose to tail. And Newman and Montoya are starting to catch up as Robbie Gordon looks to make a move around Matt Kenseth in the 17. Kenseth lets him go. The 96 goes down pit road. So that frees all of these leaders away out of lap traffic as the 49 car pits again. With just a few laps to go on the stage, the free pass position currently would go to Jill Nemechek. I don't think that'll last too long. Now that'll actually still go to the 96. Now we'll go to Nemechek. But Nemechek's being run down by Vickers and Blaney here. But Stewart starting to run away with the race lead with Hamlin as Gordon is left in the dust in third. So we're back to the free pass battle with Nemechek getting passed by Kane. Now getting passed by Mears in the 25 potentially. The 25 looks to the outside of the 13. The 25 is going to get the 13 here. That's maybe going to allow the 60 to have a move up the inside into turn 11. And that is exactly on that 80 we want to see as Kevin Harvick hits pit road. Robbie Gordon down pit road as well. The 5 getting around the 13 as the 83 and 22 are closing in for this free pass battle. And the 22 has the freshest tires out of this battle for the free pass. So it'll be interesting to see how this transpires. What's a 96 in relation to these guys? Not very close at all. The 83 of Ricker side by side with Nemechek, and now the 83 is going to move into the free pass position. Trying to make quick work of the 13 as the 83 runs the way of the free pass for now. They go to 11 as we've gotten the white flag in stage 2, further up ahead of the race leaders. As you see Mears diving for pit road. Jeff Burton and Clint Boyer seem to have gotten into it. That may be an early end to stage number 2 here, and it will be. So a little bit of contact there with Burton and Boyer to end stage number 2 here at Sonoma. That is not going to go over well in the team meeting. As they come around, and Tony Stewart will win stage 2 here at Sonoma. A good chunk of cars trapped a lap down now because of that cycle, but the first car lap down at the caution was Brian Vickers in the 83 car. The 96 is going to stay out for the wave around, so I don't know. The 19, I believe, is a lap down. Yes, he is. The 96 of Fellows is also going to take a wave around here. As you see these guys getting pit service here, Labonte's going to come out ahead of these guys. Trying to get around the 43 of Bonnie, but I don't think we'll have to delay the restart for it. Here we come back to the restart though, and it'll be Casey Mears who pitted there before the end of the stage, who will lead us to the restart. And I wonder if we'll see any green flag stops here, considering a bunch of the field was pitting before that stage 2 end. But here we go. Green flag back in there. Field heads up the hill. gonna go around. The 5, all the work he just did to get back towards the front has been erased in one restart. The 25 Ramirez now trying to hang on ahead of Tony Stewart and Denny Hamlin. Again, the tire difference is not a bit huge at all. I think it's about a lap between their tires. And Casey Mears trying to make it Hendrick's 6 wins in a row, which will be an unbelievable stat, but Stewart's trying to not let him get it. And Montoya trying to get fourth from Ryan Newman. Newman's going to go off the track. Gordon's going to get by him as well. So now Montoya chasing after these 2 JGR cars. And Kenseth has an issue, so too does Jimmy Johnson. The top 2 in points have had something happen. They were battling here. They got out of harm's way, but they both went into the tire barrier. They're able to roll it back to pit road, so no caution for that. But they're both going to be Kenseth's out, and I think that there's been another crash. And that one will end up being a yellow because they wham the tire barrier. So Mears leads them back to the caution after a chaotic lap and a half. Trying to get around. Since he got the free pass, and the 43 car will be back on the lead lap. But Mears is going to pit here and relinquish the race lead to Tony Stewart. Everyone else is going to stay out. So Kenseth, Boyer, Burton, Jarrett, Yaley, Gill, and Biffle, Truex, PJ Jones, Kane, and Johnson are all out of the race. And out of 4 road boys is Sierra Johnson, DNFs, and 2 of them. Luckily for him, Kenseth also DNF'd. So he's not going to lose anything to the 17. Now this makes you wonder, the 25 decided he couldn't make it to the end. He pitted there. Pressure tires by a little bit, not a huge amount, but still a little bit fresher tire. But will he be able to make his way to the front? And is that the winning call if everyone else pits here before the end? So he ran about 3 laps there on that run. Stewart, though, is going to lead us back to this green flag. Here we go, green flag. And immediately hits to the inside on this 20. And one goes a little bit wide, and that may let the 42 car in a second if he can get the drive off. He won't be able to, but Gordon's on into the outside of the 42 now. Hamlin's going to go off track. Stays ahead of Gordon, but now the 42 of Montoya in the second. So can Montoya chase down Tony Stewart as Robbie Gordon gets into it with 4 set? Stewart pulling away with the race lead though as Montoya tries to close. Montoya trying to get this one to maybe bring him close to the chase bubble here. Oh, we got one around Earnhardt Jr. And they're still wrecking. That's Sorensen, actually. Reed Sorensen. He made contact with the 70 of Johnny Sauter. And that may be a caution if he can't make it back. We're waiting to see if the 41 can make it back to pit road. The 5 and 96 down pit road. But the 41 currently looking like he could make it back to pit road. And Edwards has gone around right there at the bottom of the hill. I'm going to move Palmenard up in the 7th spot here. Montoya about 1.1 seconds back from Tony Stewart. And here's Sorensen will make it back. The 42 about a tenth slower per lap, and now he's going to be under pressure from the 11 of Denny Hamlin potentially, as he continues to try to chase down the 20. But the 20 goes a little bit wide there. No lap traffic ahead of the leaders just yet, which the lap traffic typically bunches these guys up and sets up your best opportunity to pass for this race lead. But they got so jumbled up on that restart that it allowed Stewart to pull away by just a little bit. And he's just kept extending that gap. It'll be about a second and a half here when they get to the line. Yeah, Montoya. Yeah, exactly. Second and a half. Almost 1.6. Menard trying to get to Ryan Newman here to get maybe 6th place. The 66 of Green running in 11th spot, trying to get Harvick. Again, you're going to think about, will Tony Stewart be pitting? Will Montoya be pitting? Will we see another caution? And who will come and get fresh tires if we do see another caution, since it is pretty late in the going here. Stewart about 2 seconds ahead, I'd assume now, of Juan Pablo Montoya. Montoya expected himself to have a good run here today. I actually won this race in real life in 2007, and this is obviously the year this series is based off of. But now he's 2.1 seconds behind race leader Tony Stewart. The last 5 races that belonged to Gordon and Johnson, but Stewart trying to bring that to an end here today. Johnson at Charlotte, Gordon at Nashville, Johnson at Michigan and Pocono, and then you had Gordon last week at Tony. So we haven't seen a non-Hendrick car win a points race since before the All-Star. And you know which car that was? That was Tony Stewart who won the last points race that was a Hendrick car before the All-Star. So Stewart trying to get his 2nd win of the year came at the expense of Greg Biffle at Watkins Glen. But he has been one of the best cars today. Ran down Hamlin and Gordon when they were struggling to pass a lap car. Never let go of the lead after Montoya lost another couple tenths that lap. keeping it together here. Only the top 20 cars on the lead lap right now. Granted, 31st through 42nd are out, so 11 cars out of the race currently. And the 42 has gapped Hamlin a little bit, and Gordon's been gapped by Hamlin a little bit. As they come down the S's. Sen has gone around Paul Menard for the 7th spot there. So move the 60 up into 7th, and he might be able to go chase down Ryan Newman and Kurt Busch potentially. The 7 now also trying to get by the 15 Menard here. Was, I believe, running well at Watkins as well before getting taken out on the wreck. Now he's trying to get a top 10 here today in Sonoma. As we have 5 laps to go. Stewart trying to... He is hanging on right now, trying to not accidentally spin out or have a mistake, trying to make it to the end. If he does have a hit, you know, at the end of stage 2, it was a run similar to this, and you saw some guys having to come down and make a pit stop. Under those were people towards the back, so they could have had issues of their own. But here's Tony Stewart, heading for turn number 11. And there's the 5 of Busch. What could have been a day for him. It was all pretty much downhill. After that first caution, he had to bring it down pit road with an issue, which we never found out what issue he had. He worked his way all the way back up and got spun out. He's still going to salvage a top 20 out of it. But it's not going to be the win he would have wanted. Tony Stewart now coming through the S's, working towards 3 laps to go. Next week, we're going to be going to Chicagoland, followed by Atlanta, one of the 2 remaining super speedways in this regular season. We've seen 2 upsets on the super speedways so far. You saw David Gillen win a 500. You saw David Ruderman win at Talladega. So maybe David Reagan may win in a couple weeks' time. Stewart coming up the hill. As he works down into the S's again. Next time by, 2 laps to go from Sonoma when he gets to the line. Gordon has been gapped by Hamlin and Montoya now. And everyone's kept it together pretty well since that crash. But it seems like the 42 and 11 managed their tire better than the 24 car. Now 4 seconds the gap for the 20 car. He'll be coming to the white flag next time by. Nearly a 5-second gap over second place Montoya. Stewart up the hill. Hey, he's run pretty much perfect laps since the restart. Was able to get away when they jumbled each other up for second spot. further back through the field. The second defending from the 29 car here. Casey Mears, who pitted there, looked like he may have had the winning strategy, trying to run down the 29 for a top 10. I don't think he'll get it unless someone here in the top 10 has a mistake. Here we come to the white. Tony Stewart's going to take the white flag. And the race is now official here from Sonoma. White flag for Tony Stewart. Montoya, Hamlin, and Gordon still battling for second. The gap 5 seconds now over Montoya. Stewart up the hill and over the top of it as he heads down to turn 4. Turn 6 for the final time as he heads through the S's. He's going to have a little bit of lap traffic in his way, but it won't affect him too much. Probably just going to ride behind this 83 car. As he comes to turn 11. With the 83 of Vickers in front of him, the lap car, he's going to go by him. But Tony Stewart is going to end the streak that Hendrick had. Tony Stewart is going to win here today at Sonoma. Stewart gets it done. of Marlin on the road. Did he have some sort of accident? As you see Montoya cross the line in second spot. And the 14 did have a crash, but this was after Tony Stewart took the white flag. But let's take a look at what happened. He just got turned into the wall by Sadler there. As we go to look at Tony Stewart's celebration.